you already. I don't know, you hear those stories of like, or not even you hear stories, it's just like your parents are like, oh, like there's people starving in like this place or that place, so you gotta eat your food. And then it's like a whole bunch of food is thrown away daily. Damn, look at this. I'm Tristan Griffin and I'm 23 years old.
Tristan is a dumpster diver, or a freegan, meaning he gets the majority of his food from dumpsters.
I started in, I think, April of this year. Initially it was just like being able to get money or get food without money. But as it like went on, it was almost like a ethical obligation because I was just realizing how much food was actually going to waste. And I don't know, something about that was like very, I don't know, it's like something about it's very like viscerally disgusting. For a while it was like this weird mixture of like astonishment and like kind of like a weird joy that you get when you like find something cool in the street or something like that. Like kind of like if you like find like a $20 bill or something like that in the street. But then after a while it was just like it was like so much. It'd be like if you like kept finding all this money and then everybody around you was like broke.
While Tristan's motivations are primarily moral and monetary, many of the people he meets dumpster dive out of necessity. The United States Department of Agriculture reports that 11% of the population is food insecure, meaning they don't know where their next meal is coming from. That number doubles on college campuses, UNR included, where the stigma around asking for help and taking what they feel they aren't desperate enough to need keeps students from using food pantries.
22% of our students identify as food insecure, and we see that a lot of them don't come to the food pantry. I do feel that students may in themselves feel some kind of shame about it, especially if they're not used to doing something like this, reaching out for help or going to any kind of like service that the university provides for them. Another thing is maybe they are afraid that if they come here that their level of food insecurity is not as great as some others, so they may feel like they're taking the food away from others who may need it more.
Tristan says a similar stigma exists around collecting food from dumpsters, despite both the freshness and abundance of the food that is regularly thrown out. 30 to 40% of all food produced annually, according to USDA estimates.
I think that really speaks to just the way people feel about something like that, where it's like perfectly good food going to waste as soon as it like goes past the like top of the trash can receptacle is like immediately off limits for people. And I think it's just like a weird programming that people have accepted for some reason. I don't know, I think there's like this general idea that like that's like the lowest of the low. Like I've even heard of people that are like actually houseless that are like, no, I'll like never go through the trash.
The irony is, there's more than enough to go around. So much so that Tristan takes it upon himself to donate much of what he collects each week.
So I think like I probably give away like 30 pounds of food each week, just depending on like how much I get. Because at this point I don't even really have to keep much of it. Like my cupboards are pretty much stocked. I'm like exhausted by the fact that it's like almost like a duty now. It's like a duty to do this, or else it's just like nobody's gonna eat this food.
Most reports on food waste indicate that the majority of what stores throw out was overstocked, cosmetically imperfect, past its sell-by date, or unpopular. While the University of Nevada-Reno takes some steps to minimize its food waste, the same can't be said for the majority of grocery stores.
It really just kind of emphasizes the point that like starvation exists only because it's not profitable to fix it.